Boom, boom. Oh my gosh. It's been recording. Oh. Okay. She ain't got no pants on. Mixed signals are still signals, and that signal is no. You deserve clarity, and clarity comes through communication. Communication is kind, so don't settle for anything less. Okay. She back. Hello and welcome to The Glow Show, Season 2, all about you, where I help you navigate a new area of life, business, or social media. As an empath who has dedicated her platform to education and service, I'm honestly learning as I go, but sharing my lessons along the way. If you'd like a question answered live, visit milliondollarshortcut.com, purchase a copy, and then text your question to the number at the top of the screen. Learning, loving, and laughing out loud, that's The Glow Show. What up, y'all? So it is almost August as of today. The day is July 31st. No, the day is July 30th that I'm recording this. So we're almost entering August. That means 5 months left of the year. 4 months. 5 months including August. Okay, come on, math. Today's episode is going to be about how to date with intention, and this is heavily influenced by Love is Blind, the After the Altar reunion episodes that were released this week. I don't even know how I found myself. Yes, I do. I was, usually if I have a good productive day, I reward myself with Girlfriends. Girlfriends is like classic Black sitcom TV. Like, it's been around. Tracee Ellis Ross is one of my favorite actresses. Show's been around for decades, and I've just been rewatching the whole season. And so after a long day, I wind down, I put on my fireplace, I light a candle, and I watch an episode of Girlfriends. But on my iPad, I was like logged out for some reason. Oh, I just got back from traveling, so I had to set up the Wi-Fi, and so it took me to the home screen of Netflix. And I saw number 2 in the US is Love is Blind. And I was like, oh, what happened? I thought it was a new season. And, of course, this was the hottest show during quarantine. So it was really interesting to watch. It's about 3 episodes, 45 minutes each, that kind of walk you through the 2-year anniversary since the taping of the show, which turned out to be a total hit. But without talking too much about the show, I wanted to kind of center this conversation about dating with intention, because one of the things that I realized is the amount of immaturity with most dating relationships today, and the reason why so many people are unhappy and unfulfilled in their relationships, and then watching it play out in real time. Obviously, reality TV, there's going to be a percentage that's staged and over dramatized for ratings, but you can see a lot of real life scenarios, and you can see a lot of actual the emotional manipulation, the gaslighting. You could see it play out in real time, and I'm like, y'all, you can't script that. You can't. This level of toxicity cannot be scripted. Maybe that's me, just, oh my goodness. But I want to talk about dating with intention, some of my past experiences, and hopefully share a couple tips that can help you all on your journey. I hopefully want to make this a pretty short episode, get to the point, but yeah, let's talk about it. So my past experiences, the last 3 relationships I was in was with a Serbian, a Bahamian, and a Grenadian. So now I feel like people are going to scroll my Instagram timeline to see when I was in those countries. But the funniest thing is I didn't meet those people in their country. This is a very global world. You have to understand that you can meet, I might meet a Brit in France, or an Aussie in Germany. It's a South African in Canada. It's such a global world. So I didn't meet any of these people while I was in their country. So don't even try to trace my timeline. And without, stating the obvious, my social or my dating life is not something that's up for public consumption. So I'll share contextual stories if it adds to a lesson, but it's not something that no one will ever know that I'm dating someone on social media. And that's something that I also make very clear. When we're entering the relationship and we're exclusive, I'm meeting with parents, it's kind of like, oh, just so you know, if you have any expectation of me posting you, tagging you, us looking booed up, you know, even PDA, I was like, I can't be seen out here in these streets. Oh, I have to be honest, actually, with my ex, we were spotted one time and someone was asking for a photo. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm just, you know, I'm in town with my cousin. He looked at me like, cousin. Thankfully, he was already prepped. He was on game. So, you know, I'm out here incognito in these streets because you have to. Not everything is up for public consumption. And I think, especially when you're already generous with the information that you give people so that they can, you know, help themselves with whatever they're struggling with, people then start to feel entitled to certain information or certain aspects of your life. And in a previous episode, I talked about how y'all will never see the inside of Beyonce's bathroom, no matter how much you are curious, no matter how many albums and concerts you attend. She will never give you that kind of access because she probably won't even, like, her home. How many of us have seen, like, her home? Like, she just doesn't show that part. And that is her, like, that's her prerogative. That's her right. So anyways, contextualizing. So with the Serbian, the Bahamian, and the Grenadian, in each of those experiences, it was very intentional, which I really appreciated because dating in my early 20s and like late teens, obviously lots of mixed signals, obviously lots of game, lots of playing around, lots of like, oh, you know, I'm just, you know, I just want to talk, you know, I just want to see what's up. But these last 3 experiences, like, I'm dating to marry, I'm dating to settle down, I'm looking for my wife. And to have that level of intentionality and honestly maturity up front is so nice because it cuts out all the BS and there's no games. And even having the conversation, and this is where you have to be super vulnerable, having the conversation of saying, at any point, the day either of us knows that the other person is no longer the one, like, let them know, don't drag it out. It's going to be painful to say it, whoever's going to be the first one, like, it's a painful conversation to have, but like, it is so much easier to get it out the way the minute you realize that. Whether that can be someone deciding, actually, I don't want kids. That could be someone deciding, actually, I want to live in this state. This could be someone deciding, actually, you know, I want someone who stays home and isn't traveling all the time. You know, anything like that that becomes a non-negotiable. Instead of holding that person hostage and hoping that you can change them, let them go. Let them go. Let them go. And in one situation, actually 2 situations, not gonna put either of them, I mean, they're probably not listening to this episode, so screw it. But in 2 of these situations where I left, they cried. And that level of emotional vulnerability, it's just that safeness. Because I think with a lot of men, especially if they're masculine and macho, like whether it's a cultural thing or just a generational thing, a traditional thing, but like men who want to pretend like they can't feel anything and they're not in touch with their emotions, and many of them don't know how to talk about their emotions. One thing that I've always appreciated is a man who knows how to communicate. Emotional intelligence is so high up there with like needs. And, you know, as you grow older as well, your checklist becomes less about a physical thing and more of an internal, intellectual, spiritual thing. Like, how in touch with their trauma are they? Are they in therapy? Like, things like that, because that's what matters most. Anyways, in those situations where they cried, I was like, oh my goodness. And like, of course, I started to feel the guilt, like, okay, maybe I should stay. Maybe I should give them another chance. Okay, maybe I should just see if we can work this out, or, you know, the differences. But at the end of the day, and there's a quote, I think Glennon Doyle quotes this she says this in her book, Untamed. But she says, when it comes, you're going to be disappointing a lot of people in your lifetime. But when it comes to disappointing someone else and yourself, always choose to disappoint someone else. Never neglect or disappoint yourself. And I look at my life now and I'm like, there are so many moments where I'm like, had I still been in that relationship, like I wouldn't be experiencing this. Because I'm the kind of girlfriend, like I'm almost loyal to a fault. And that's why you have to know yourself so much when you're in a season of singleness. Because I am so like, and I don't want to say it's like, I'll give up everything to like support you, but I'm so loyal. If you're like, babe, I gotta live in France for 6 months because I got this like massive promotion. I'm like, boom, all right, let's move to France. Like, go to France. Like, and for me, like, I wouldn't get rid of my apartment, but I would just like, I'd be down, like I would make it work. And that's also the beauty of having this digital nomad life, is that I can be very flexible. I can hop on a flight on a moment's notice. I can meet you where you're at. And I love that because it makes just dating more exciting and adventurous. And yeah, so anyways, in these past experiences where it's like introducing, you know, within the first week, 2 of them introduced me to their parents. And the first time that happened, I was so caught off guard because it had never happened before. I was like, wait, this is, okay, you want this? Are you sure? You know, I poop, I fart too. You sure? I was like, okay, this is getting serious. And in one of the situations where I met the family, they were like, he's never brought someone home. He's literally never introduced us to any girl. And he was 33 years old. You're the first woman. I met the grandma, the aunt, the nieces, the dads, you know, just whole crew, and everyone, you know, we'd be FaceTiming the family and everyone was just so like, oh, and here should have been my red flag. The sister was like, sis, you accomplished. I just want to let you know, don't settle. If your own sister is saying that about you, I was like, oh, that was like the first red flag. I was like, okay, noted. The sister thinks I'm like way above his league. And again, I can compromise when it comes to like, I might be more educated, I might be more financially stable, I might have a better situation in some department, but like kind, loyal, chivalrous, like emotionally intelligent, curious, adventurous, spiritual, loves God, puts God first, like my goodness, like, and I was like, oh my God, check, you know. But at the end of the day, I said this on Instagram, you have to be willing to leave good enough in pursuit of great. In your job, in your life, in your dating, like in every aspect, there will always be good enough. And you have to say for yourself, like, at what point do I know I deserve more / better? And what does better look like? How can I define better? And I think I just got really honest with myself with like, you know what? It's really nice to feel wanted. It's really nice to be desired. It's really nice to be like courted. Like that's still a thing. I was like, oh my God. Yeah. Sorry, if you're watching on YouTube, my mind's like, oh, I kind of missed that. Being courted is fun because it's really like wined and dined, spoiled, cherished, and really someone, again, showing their intentionality with saying, hey, you're the one. And yeah, and also being very safe and knowing that they're not like messing around on you. And they like, there would be times where like, just even small things where it's like, you don't touch we're together for 6 hours. You didn't touch your phone once, something small like that. If you ever get a phone call, you put it on speaker. Like I'm gonna be honest, that was so, cause I'm not even a jealous person, but the fact that they were so like, they wanted to be so sure that like, look, it is just you. I ain't got no one else. I ain't even looking. Like he would have me answer the phone. Someone would text him, hey, text him back this. Like literally, I was just like, ooh, this is nice. But again, I'm an Aries, so we are loyal. We are loyal. Aries women, at least. I think Aries women make some of the best girlfriends because we're down. We don't cheat. We don't look around. Like we're good. We're catches. I'm gonna just say that. We a catch. Okay, so let's talk about your intentionality checklist. So are you looking for a life partner, like marriage? Are you looking to settle down? Are you looking for just a baby daddy? And here's another thing, like there are women who want kids but don't want husbands. Which I like, this new age independence. I'm here for it because they're like, I don't want the bull. I don't want to clean up after him. There are women who are saying like, we can get married, but we got to live in separate houses. And I know some people are like, what's the point of getting married? I get it. But I'm like, look, at the end of the day, do what works for you. Because there's a lot of people that are fronting and flossing and flaunting their marriage as if it's one way when it's in shambles behind doors. So if you want to be open and upfront about like, this is what works for us. We have separate bedrooms. We sleep together, but we have separate bedrooms when we need our space, all that kind of stuff. I get it. Another intentionality thing. Are you just looking for like a companion, someone with like masculine energy? Are you looking for a travel buddy, someone who you can like rendezvous with here and there? Like, just know what you're coming into the relationship or coming into the situationship looking for. Because if you ever get to a point where it's like, what are we? That was like, oh man, it's so like high school, so college. What are we? Like, if you have to ask, you already know the answer. Again, mixed signals are still signals. And that signal is no. You deserve clarity. Clarity comes through communication, and communication is kind. Don't settle for anything less. Honestly, we is too grown. I'm 31 years old. I am too grown to compromise my peace. I love my life. And who you want to come in and ruin this peace, ruin this level of joy, satisfaction, fulfillment, purpose, contentment? Boy, like, it's cool to be here. It's real cool to be here. So if you single, if you listening, if you watching on YouTube, find a hobby, find something that fulfills you, because I don't even think about men. Like, it's great to get to the point where you're so busy or you're so just involved in so many things that you're not even like, oh man, I miss being cuddled. I miss being taken out on dates. I miss you're just like, oh gosh, I haven't gone on a date with a guy in 6 months. Like, you just don't even think about it because you're just so engulfed in what you're doing. And yeah, just staying preoccupied, because the more you sit and sulk about how lonely you feel or how you feel like you're lacking without someone, the more it's gonna force you into like desperation, and nothing good comes out of like desperation. So I hope that's helpful. I hope that gave y'all something. I shared way too much. Y'all lucky you listen to my podcast, because I would never share this on Instagram. People are too nosy there. Okay, so a scripture I found that is kind of relevant. Philippians chapter 4, verses 8 through 9, and this is the ESV version. Finally, brothers, whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is just, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is commendable, if there is any excellence, if there is anything worthy of praise, think about these things. What you have learned and received and heard and seen in me, practice these things, and the God of peace will be with you. So sometimes when I'm looking for scriptures to include in these episodes, I search for keywords. So this was the first one that came up when I searched for intentionality. And I love this because with everything that you do in dating, in your life, in your work, do it commendably. Pursue it honorably. Like, have integrity with everything that you do. And the games, if you're still playing games, look, if you want to talk to multiple people, if you want to be in an open relationship, say that. Say that. No one is going to it's not bad to date multiple people. I personally can't do that. If a man expresses interest in me, if he's actively pursuing me, I literally don't even have the capacity to entertain multiple people at the same time. I'm giving my all to him, especially if he's intentional and he's like, I want to make you my wife one day. Let's see if we can make this work. Like, why would I be? I don't know. I just don't have the time or the capacity to be looking elsewhere, because it's like, if you're really trying to give this a fair shot, you want to give it your full attention. So anyways, just don't play games. If you don't want to be the person that's intentional, like, just be upfront. I'm looking for this. I just want someone to cuddle with. Winter's coming. It's getting cold. I ain't got no covers. Come cover me. I feel like in 10 years, I will regret all of these episodes, and that's what makes them so great. Okay. So let's go to the next section, what I'm currently doing. What I'm currently reading, I just finished The Game of Life and How to Play It by Florence Scovel Shinn. Florence Scovel, Scovel, Shinn with 2 N's. An amazing book. Biblical based, but it talks a lot about prosperity, manifestation, affirmations. I read it twice. It was so good I read it twice. Also because it was the only book that I brought with me to Honduras. So I was like, I still want to read something, so I'm gonna just read this again. What I'm currently thinking is I'm gonna crash so hard either tonight or tomorrow. I just had another coffee, which is a bad idea. I'm going off with 3 hours of sleep. I just had a 6-hour Zoom call with my event manager. We're planning out the graduation ceremony for my academy students. You can go to thesocialeducators.com. Actually, website is pending. bit.ly/join-the-sea. But anyways, applications close at midnight, so it might be too late by the time you listen. But what's so cool about this online program is that I'm actually giving them a physical ceremony, caps and gowns, party, like whole nine. And I think after a year of COVID, these women will really appreciate that. What I'm currently buying, flashcards. Really need to get serious about my Mandarin lessons. So one of my big goals, personal goals, is to be fluent in Mandarin. And there's so many apps. And what I realized is apps are great for like on the go learning. But if you really want to get serious about developing a skill, get your hands involved. Even the phonetic spelling and the shaping and the writing and the processing of the brain to hand motion, you're going to be learning at a faster pace and just more hands-on with your learning. And flashcards are so old school. Sometimes you just got to get back to old school methods of learning. What I'm currently learning, speaking of, is that it's okay to leave some people where they're at. I think when you know you have a gift to help people, to lead people, to inspire people, you want to help everyone. And some people aren't ready for the level of help that you offer. And you got to be okay with just saying, you know what? One day life is going to show them better than I can, because, you know, you can tell someone the same thing 5 times and they won't do it. Like, why would you put yourself through that frustration when that could be somebody else's burden to bear? So what I'm currently manifesting is an incredible graduation ceremony. So we went over budget, location, venue, food, speakers, all of that. And I'm just, I see it. I see it being so beautiful. And that's the best part, is the dreaming of the idea before it comes to life. And then it comes to life and you're just like, wow, that really started in my head and now it's happening it right before my eyes. It's the best thing. Okay, what I'm currently praying for is discernment with connections. I get a lot of messages and emails and comments every single day. Lots of genuine words, but I think I have a little bit of like I don't want to say a wall up, but you just never know who has the best intentions. And so many people reach out. I just want to connect with you. I love your energy. I just would love to be your friend. And I'm just like, how do you make friends as an adult anymore? Like, that could be another episode, because it's such a process, because there's no context to what the friendship is going to entail and what kind of friends they're used to having and what their friendship even looks like. It's complicated. What I'm currently watching, so like I just said, I finished Love is Blind after the altar last night. Highly recommend. If you haven't watched any of the episodes though, you got to start from you just got to start from episode 1. It doesn't make sense to watch the reunion episode if you have no context of the nightmare, the train wreck that this show was. So many twists. Excuse me. I'm currently avoiding, as always, emails. Nothing new. Nothing new. And then what I'm currently loving, how exciting my August is going to be. Lots of travel, new connections, and networking. I'll be with Tony Robbins in a couple weeks. I'll be with Brendan Burchard in a couple weeks, kind of, as well. Some of my, oh my God. Another mastermind with some of like wealthy Black people. I was like, how do I call us? Wealthy Black people. That's really what we are. We'll be meeting up as well, discussing ways that we can continue to level up our community. And I'm just excited about all the ways that I get to learn from my peers and learn from my mentors and just learn. I'm forever a student. Forever a student. Is that it? Is that it? Okay, Glow. I see you with the 25-minute episode. All right, y'all. Well, thank you so much for listening. Be sure to tag me on Instagram, post your favorite quote so I can share it, or your favorite lesson at Glow Graphics, GLO Graphics. Please leave a review as well on Apple so more people can discover this. And thank you so much. I really appreciate you all just listening and supporting the journey. It means so much. So thank you. And chat with you on the next episode.